Hi, and welcome to a virtual presentation on financial incentives and intention to subscribe to data-driven health plans. It's a great pleasure and a great opportunity to be there and present our work. My name is Stefan Stepanovic, and I am a PhD candidate at the University of Lausanne. This paper was co-written with Professor Tobias Mettler, who is a professor in information systems at the University of Lausanne. As the title suggests, today we will focus on financial incentives and their use by health insurance companies, especially in health insurance plans that rely on data provided by systems such as quantified self devices. This work is motivated by the evolution in the way individuals perceive their health levels. Information based on data and numbers have entered in the collective awareness, and many have become dependent on data analytics and algorithms to find out whether they have done enough physical activity, they have slept well, or the diet is appropriate. Healthcare actors have also started to have a close look on this phenomenon and to distribute quantified self devices as part of their own programs. Health insurance companies show a real dynamism in this regard, as the constant tracking of physical and behavioral levels may allow to meet most of their commercial and organizational objectives, such as supervising the evolution of a chronic condition among the population, strengthening the range of provided health services, offering new insurance products, and fostering consumers' engagement. Of course, participation in such plans relies on a voluntary basis, given that the systems gather information that is potentially sensitive. So, to motivate data sharing from consumers, health insurance companies often resort to financial incentives as motivational mechanisms to increase adoption rates and reduce resistance. Discounts or rewards are offered to consumers that link a quantified self devices to companies' dedicated app and then attain some objectives or challenge, such as averaging 7,000 steps per day. Yet, little is known about the effects of financial incentives on individual intention to subscribe to data-driven health plans, and specifically if financial incentives act as a trigger for some types of consumers to engage in such programs, as this represents a new and developing phenomenon both within practice and research. Accordingly, we set out the following research question. What are the effects of financial incentives in the intention to subscribe to data-driven health plans? To adequately explore this issue, our investigation is carried in a liberal healthcare system where residents have choice options. This is the case of Switzerland, as permanent residents have to enroll in a basic insurance plan that supports elementary healthcare needs. Additionally, permanent residents can contract any type of supplementary coverage, such as data-driven health plans, which is a standard practice in Switzerland, as more than 70% of permanent residents subscribe to some extra plans. To prevent another interpretation of the weight on financial incentives as a single factor in the choice of subscribing to a data-driven health plan, we also examined the current literature to uncover the more silent dynamics alongside financial incentives that an individual faces into subscribing to a data-driven health plan in a liberal health insurance market as in Switzerland. The literature particularly underlines two dimensions that are dominant in the rationale of choosing a private health insurance company: consumers' financial capacity and their overall health status. We therefore also included income and health status as moderating factors. Now that the foundation have been placed, let's see how we proceed to gather data. We opted for a survey where we created two different settings to assess the weight of financial incentives. Within the first, the survey included a discount in case of subscription to a data-driven health plan, while in the second setting, no discount offer was proposed. We used the standard construct intention to use to assess the intention of individuals to subscribe to data-driven health plans. For moderating factors that may influence an individual tendency to subscribe to a data-driven health plan, we used a variable household net income per month, and for health status, we used perceived health status, which is a validated way to apprehend how an individual is perceiving its health levels. Participants of the study were randomly assigned to one of the two groups with a sample of 223 valid responses for the survey with the discount offer and 218 valid responses for the survey without discount. You can find the details in the following table. An analysis of variance Anova was performed with Stata to test the mean between subject effects. We identified that the main effect discount reached a significant level. Main effects income and health were not found to be statistically significant. As regards interaction effects, only the crossover interaction, discount, income, health, is found to be statistically significant. The effects of income and health only exist over the levels of discount. This underlines the importance of financial incentives to motivate consumers to subscribe to data-driven health plans, as the intention to use quantified self devices is significantly associated with the presence of discount. To better visualize the interplay between discount, income, and health, we graphed the relationship between the three factors. In accordance with our sliding scale employed for use intention, we also delineated into third areas individual intention to use data-driven health plans. The no-go area goes from 0 to 2.3, reflection area goes from 2.3 to 4.6, and definitive use area goes from 4.6 to 7. In the scenario where discounts are not included, income or perceived health levels do not exercise any particular effect on the intention to subscribe to data-driven health plans. This confirms that the promises of health improvement are still not sufficient to motivate people to use quantified self devices provided by health insurance companies. It may also illustrate that concerns about these programs are still very prevalent. Hence, the role of financial incentives are still fundamental for health insurance companies to overcome these barriers and attract more than a small proportion of early adopters, which are found to be more risk tolerant. This naturally brings us to take a more precise look on the proportion of increase in use intention than financial incentives in this, and then eventually define typical profiles where this increase is more perceptible. The existence of a discount mechanism overall increases intention to subscribe to data-driven health plans among all types of profiles, notably moving all patterns outside the no-go area. Still, for a majority of cases, this represents a marginal growth in intention, showing that a certain amount of skepticism remains toward institutions providing data tracking technologies. In two combinations, however, this increase in use intention is more pronounced. First, individuals with lower income, regardless of their health status, are more keen to subscribe to data-driven health plans with discounts. This may be the expression of an engagement out of financial need. The incentives act as a trigger and creates a trade-off between data sharing and financial benefit. Second, consumers with a high income and a perceived poor health status show a noticeable increase in use intention. Such result may appear surprising at first, as the general comprehension is that individuals with good perceived health status may be driven by a need to demonstrate the good health habits and gain recognition for their capabilities in self-management. However, providing access to quantified self practices might also be apprehended by some as an occasion to improve their health levels. This dichotomy truly illustrates the ambivalent nature of quantified self practices. At the same time, they may represent opportunities and challenges in terms of health promotion. Finally, the fact that financial incentives have a significant impact on use intention might raise questions about the role of rewards on the relation between health insurance companies and consumers. For instance, some may argue that it creates an environment of indirect coercion on consumers, as it may give the impression to individuals that there are downsides on refusing the discount. This also illustrates the possible avenues for further research. In particular, qualitative studies may help to complete the profile of individuals that participate in data-driven health plans, providing a more nuanced view of the overall population. Also, investigation regarding the fairness in offering financial rewards in exchange of an access to individual data may be interesting to explore, as well as the moral obligation for individuals to participate in data-driven programs sponsored by organizations. Thank you very much for your attention. Please do not hesitate if you have any question or comments.